Hello there, welcome to this video. In today's video we will discuss what is break-even analysis and how it's done for a digital product. Feel free to like and share this video in your network and help others to learn and grow. So, have a look, what we will be taking away from this videos. Firstly, we will look into what is break-even analysis for a digital product. Secondly, we will deep into how break-even analysis works. Then step down with why does your business need to perform break-even analysis. Fourthly, how do you calculate the break-even point? Then we will look the limitations of a break-even analysis. And lastly we will sum up with conclusion. So without further ado, let me deep you to today's video. What is break-even analysis for a digital product? Break-even analysis is a financial analysis technique used to determine the point at which a digital product's total revenue equals its total costs, resulting in neither a profit nor a loss. In other words, it helps to identify the level of sales needed to cover all the expenses associated with creating and selling the digital product. To perform a break-even analysis for a digital product, you need to identify all the costs associated with creating and selling the product, including fixed costs, such as software development costs, hosting fees, and marketing expenses, and variable costs, such as payment processing fees and customer support costs. Once you have identified all the costs, you need to calculate the price at which you will sell the product and estimate the number of units you expect to sell. How break-even analysis works. Break-even analysis is a financial tool used to determine the point at which a business's total revenue equals its total costs, resulting in neither a profit nor a loss. The analysis is based on the relationship between the fixed costs, variable costs, selling price, and the number of units sold. The break-even point is calculated by dividing the total fixed costs by the difference between the selling price per unit and the variable cost per unit. The formula for break-even point can be expressed as break-even point equal to fixed costs divided by selling price per unit minus variable cost per unit. Once the break-even point is determined, a business can use this information to make informed decisions regarding pricing, production volume, and other financial strategies. If the business can sell more than the break-even point, it will generate a profit, and if it sells less than the break-even point, it will incur a loss. For example, suppose a business has total fixed costs of $100,000, variable costs of $10 per unit, and sells its product for $50 per unit. The break-even point for this business would be break-even point equal to $100,000 divided by $50 minus $10 equal to 2,000 units. This means that the business needs to sell 2,000 units of its product to break even. If it sells fewer than 2,000 units, it will incur a loss, and if it sells more than 2,000 units, it will generate a profit. Break-even analysis can help businesses make informed decisions about pricing and production volume. By knowing the break-even point, a business can determine the minimum price it needs to charge to cover its costs or the minimum number of units it needs to produce to cover its expenses. It can also help a business identify areas where it can reduce costs to improve profitability. Why does your business need to perform break-even analysis? Performing a break-even analysis is essential for businesses of all sizes, as it helps them understand the minimum level of sales required to cover their costs and make a profit. Here are some key reasons why your business should perform a break-even analysis. Pricing decisions. Break-even analysis can help you determine the minimum price you need to charge for your product or service to cover your costs. If your costs are high, you may need to charge a higher price to break even, which can impact your pricing strategy. Cost management. By identifying your fixed and variable costs, break-even analysis can help you understand where you can cut costs to improve profitability. You can identify areas where you can reduce costs or increase efficiency to reduce your break-even point and improve profitability. Investment decisions. Break-even analysis can help you make informed investment decisions by providing you with a clear understanding of the financial impact of your investments. You can use the analysis to determine whether a new investment will help you achieve profitability or increase your break-even point. Financial planning. Break-even analysis can help you develop a financial plan for your business by providing you with a clear understanding of your costs, revenue, and profitability. This can help you set goals and make informed decisions about resource allocation. Risk assessment. Break-even analysis can help you assess the risks associated with your business by providing you with an understanding of your financial situation. By knowing your break-even point, you can identify potential risks to your profitability and take steps to mitigate them. In summary, performing a break-even analysis is critical for any business that wants to be financially sustainable and profitable. It provides valuable insights into your costs, revenue, and profitability, which can help you make informed decisions about pricing, cost management, investment, financial planning, and risk assessment. How do you calculate the break-even point? The break-even point is the level of sales at which a business generates enough revenue to cover its fixed and variable costs and make a profit of zero. Here are the steps to calculate the break-even point. Determine the fixed costs. These are the costs that do not vary with the level of production or sales, such as rent, salaries, insurance, and utilities. Determine the variable costs. These are the costs that vary with the level of production or sales, such as raw materials, direct labor, and sales commissions. Calculate the contribution margin per unit. This is the difference between the selling price of a unit and its variable costs. It represents the amount of revenue that is available to cover the fixed costs and generate a profit. Contribution margin per unit equal to selling price per unit subtracted by variable costs per unit. Calculate the break-even point in units. This is the number of units that a business needs to sell to cover its fixed costs and break even. Break-even point in units equal to fixed costs divided by contribution margin per unit. Calculate the break-even point in dollars. This is the amount of revenue that a business needs to generate to cover its fixed costs and break even. Break-even point in dollars equal to break-even point in units multiplied by selling price per unit. By calculating the break-even point, a business can better understand the minimum level of sales required to cover its costs and make a profit. This information can be used to make informed decisions about pricing, production, cost management, and investment, ultimately improving the financial performance of the business. The limitations of a break-even analysis. While break-even analysis is a useful tool for businesses, there are some limitations to consider. Here are some of the main limitations of break-even analysis. Assumptions. Break-even analysis relies on several assumptions, such as a constant selling price, fixed and variable costs, and a linear relationship between costs and sales. In reality, these assumptions may not hold true, especially in industries with fluctuating demand or prices. Cost structure. Break-even analysis assumes that costs are either fixed or variable, which may not reflect the actual cost structure of a business. Some costs may have both fixed and variable components, making it challenging to accurately calculate the break-even point. Timeframe. Break-even analysis provides information on the minimum level of sales required to cover costs and break even, but it doesn't provide insight into the long-term profitability of a business. A business may reach its break-even point but still struggle to generate a sustainable profit. Market conditions. Break-even analysis assumes a constant market demand and competition, which may not reflect the actual market conditions. A change in market conditions, such as a new competitor or a shift in consumer preferences, can significantly impact the break-even point. Ignoring non-financial factors. Break-even analysis focuses solely on the financial aspect of a business and doesn't consider non-financial factors such as customer satisfaction, brand reputation, and employee morale, which can also impact the success of a business. Break-even analysis is a valuable tool for businesses to understand the minimum level of sales required to cover their costs and break even. However, it's important to keep in mind the limitations of break-even analysis and use it in conjunction with other financial and non-financial metrics to make informed decisions. How to lower your break-even point. Lowering the break-even point means reducing the minimum level of sales required to cover the fixed and variable costs of a business. This can be achieved by taking the following steps. Reduce fixed costs. Fixed costs are the expenses that do not change with the level of production or sales. By reducing fixed costs, a business can lower its break-even point. For example, a business can move to a smaller office space, renegotiate lease agreements, or reduce staff salaries. Lower variable costs. Variable costs are the expenses that change with the level of production or sales. By lowering variable costs, a business can increase its contribution margin and lower its break-even point. For example, a business can negotiate better prices with suppliers, optimize production processes, or reduce material waste. Increase prices. Increasing prices can increase the contribution margin per unit and lower the break-even point. However, this strategy should be carefully considered as it may also impact the demand for the product or service. Increase sales volume. Increasing the sales volume can also lower the break-even point. This can be achieved through various marketing and sales strategies such as offering discounts, expanding the customer base, and increasing the frequency of purchases. Innovate. Innovation can help a business to create new products or services with higher profit margins, reduce production costs, or increase efficiency. By doing so, a business can lower its break-even point and increase its overall profitability. In conclusion, lowering the break-even point requires a combination of cost reduction strategies, pricing strategies, sales strategies, and innovation. By implementing these strategies, a business can improve its financial performance and achieve sustainable growth. Hope you find this video valuable. Feel free to like, share and subscribe this channel. Your single like on this video keeps us motivated to bring more valuable content like this. Thank you for your support. See you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep growing.